Welcome to the St. Ignatius College Prep College Fair. We're so excited to have you with us this evening. We have some fantastic schools that are going to be sharing some great information with you. Each of our schools will have an opportunity to share 6 minutes worth of information with you, and then they will stick around for some questions at the end. My name is Danielle, and I will be your facilitator throughout the event. Before we get started, I want to share with you a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the presenters cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to ask any questions throughout the presentation, and our college reps will be in the background taking a look at those questions. Remember, this is just one of the many sessions that's taken place, so be sure to check the schedule on the website. Finally, this recording will be available on strivescan.com/Ignatius. All right, let's go ahead and get started by hearing from the University of Kansas.
Thank you, Danielle. Really appreciate that intro. And welcome, everybody. My name is Kevin Farrell, and I'm with the University of Kansas. My contact information is there on the bottom, but I'll make sure to throw it into the chat. So if you guys do want to reach out, please go ahead and do so. I'm here for you and to help you out with your journey and your college search process as a whole. But getting to the University of Kansas, let's go ahead and start to talk about what we have to offer you as students. So at the university, we have just over 19,000 students on campus. And so we have all the resources and amenities of what a large institution can give you. But almost 75% of our classes are 30 students or less. And so you still have that small classroom feel to everything, which is great. While the guaranteed admission standard here is only a 3.25 GPA, students that have higher GPAs obviously have a lot more opportunities when it comes to scholarships and everything. And our average class GPA for this incoming year was a 3.64, so a very high achieving class that we saw. We also are seeing students coming from all over the world just to attend the University of Kansas. With over 40% of our students coming from outside of the state of Kansas. And actually Chicago being one of the larger areas with about 5 to 7% of the student body of Kansas coming from the greater Chicagoland area, which is awesome. Then we also have quite a large alumni base as well when you come back after you graduate. But it's a great opportunity to study, and then obviously a great place to have that Jayhawk spirit continue on after you're done. But when we're talking about the city of Lawrence, there are some great things to talk about geography wise, and we'll kind of work our way closer and closer to campus as we go. So Lawrence is about 8 hours away from Chicago, or just a 1 hour flight from Midway to Kansas City's airport. So a very quick trip, which is nice. But we're right in the middle of between two major metropolitan areas. The first being Topeka, Kansas, which is the state capital, and the second being Lawrence or Kansas City, Missouri. And so for any students who are looking for that college town, that college experience, Lawrence is a top 10 college town in the nation. But having this immediate access to two major metropolitan areas is going to really give them a lot of opportunities to actually apply what they've been learning in the classroom. So whether it's with politics at the state capitol, news reporting, anything with marketing and campaigning, Topeka is really a place that students are doing internships during the school year. They don't have to wait until the summer internships roll around. And it just makes them actually that much more competitive when summer does finally roll around. For anyone that's looking to do business, especially anything in like medicine or insurance or anything like that, Kansas City is kind of like a small version of Chicago. It has all the businesses, the museums, the restaurants, and everything there. But over 60% of our school of business grads really take advantage of that by completing 2 or more paid internships during the time that they're on campus. The reason being is because of that close proximity and because they can then do those internships during the school year while still having that home base in Lawrence. And to talk about Lawrence, so it's a town of about 100,000 people. So we're large enough to attract all the national retailers, your Walmarts, your Targets, your Chick-fil-A, your Buffalo Wild Wings you can see in the picture. But it's still small enough that it definitely has that kind of small town vibe, that local feeling, that definite uniqueness. But at the same time, when it is game day, you know that it's game day. It doesn't get drowned out in the noise of the rest of the city. And so everyone's walking around in their best Jayhawk gear, the flags are flying, and everyone knows what's going to happen that day. And so it's a great place to come and see a game and kind of have that school pride and spirit, which only continues with you even though you've graduated from campus. I graduated quite a while ago, and even now I still root for my Jayhawks. And so everyone, it is March Madness season, so definitely root for us in the tournament this weekend. But getting to the actual campus, so at KU, it's very hard to separate KU and the city of Lawrence. They're one and the same, and they can't really be pulled apart. It's because the campus was built and the city of Lawrence is really developed around it entirely. And so they are very much interlocked, interchangeable, especially for anyone that's attended the University of Kansas. They kind of have that feeling there, which is great. But we are a major tier 1 research institution and a member of the AAU, or the Association of American Universities. And so what that means is that we're able to bring in a lot of research dollars for our students and for our professors. So we're attracting some of the best professors in the world who are then turning around and teaching your students, but then also giving those opportunities for students to actually come in and do some research. And most people, when they think of research, they think of white lab coats, Bunsen burners and beakers, but research happens in every single major here on campus. Whether it's looking into demographics for marketing, looking into how headlines and journalism actually impacts the reader and what their biases become. And then obviously all the hard sciences with it as well. But there are going to be a ton of opportunities for your students to not only get that world-class education, but then learn how to apply it outside of the classroom while still working hand in hand with their professors, which is just another amazing opportunity for them. But I know that people are really big on money. And so what we've done and what we plan on continuing to do is to make our scholarships for our out-of-state students based purely off of a student's GPA. And so it is weighted or unweighted, whatever benefits the student most. And so they start at a 3.25 and they work their way up all the way to that 3.95 and above. With that top level of scholarship, basically giving our out-of-state students in-state tuition rates of almost $11,000 per year. And so it does also become a very affordable option, especially when looking within the state of Illinois. But while you could go anywhere and be a lion, a tiger, and a bear, there's only one place in the world that you can be a Jayhawk, and it's right here at the University of Kansas. So again, thank you all for coming out, and rock chalk, everybody.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to hear from our next presenter, the University of Tennessee.
Greetings, everybody, from Knoxville, Tennessee, home to the flagship campus of the University of Tennessee. My name's Clay Alexander. I'm the Director of First-Year Recruitment in the Undergraduate Admissions Office. First, a little bit about our location. We're in East Tennessee, also referred to as Rocky Top. When you visit campus, you'll find Knoxville to be a thriving southern city that takes pride in our unique mix of natural beauty, outdoor adventure, and cultural attractions. In other words, we're a nature-loving, adventure-seeking, artsy kind of town. The campus is bordered to the east by World's Fair Park and the heart of downtown, which is an easy walk from campus where you can experience eclectic shops, delicious dining, historic landmarks, year-round events and entertainment. The Tennessee River borders the west and south side of campus, while the Strip and the historic neighborhood of Fort Sanders borders the east side. Another feature that can be viewed from all around campus is the nation's most visited national park, the Great Smoky Mountains, which serve as our backyard. Now a little bit about the university. UTK is a high-activity research and land grant institution, home to over 31,000 scholars, better known as volunteers or vols for short. A little over 25,000 of our vols are enrolled as undergraduates, and we welcomed a freshman class of over 5,900 new vols to Rocky Top in the fall. Demographically, our scholars come from all 50 states and over 150 countries. 30% of our students are residents from other states, 19% are non-white, and 55% identify as female, and 25% are first-generation college students. The university is home to 9 undergraduate colleges providing instruction in over 360 majors. Our colleges are agriculture, architecture and design, the arts and sciences, business, communication and information, education, health and human sciences, engineering, nursing, and social work. We're also home to 4 honors programs that offer unique opportunities to grow as a scholar. And our most acclaimed disciplines are supply chain management, business analytics, materials science, aerospace, and nuclear engineering, the design build program in our College of Architecture, advertising, printmaking, information sciences, nursing, acting, forestry, wildlife, and fisheries, and forensic anthropology, which is home to our world-renowned research facility, also known as the Body Farm. Now, how about life outside the classroom? With over 400 student organizations to choose from, there's never a dull moment on Rocky Top. Whether it's leadership, community service, Greek life, student government, recreational sports, or faith-based activities. Whatever you're passionate about, you can continue to pursue those involvements while at UT. Our Vols are a spirited student body who love attending games together, volunteering together, and studying together, which makes UT a great place to live, learn, and experience the very best that Rocky Top has to offer. So if any of this is appealing to you, I hope you'll explore our website at utk.edu. Come visit campus, or you can start out with our virtual experiences, which you'll find on the website. Then create a Go Vols account so we can get connected with you and keep you well informed about all things UT. If you're already thinking about applying next year, here's what the profile of our upcoming freshman class looks like. The average core GPA is a 4.05, and average test score is a 28 ACT or the comparative 1310 SAT. 25% of our students this year applied without test scores, just so you know. So how do you apply? You can apply by submitting our application or the common application. In addition to the application, we require you to self-report your academic work by creating a SAR, S-R-A-R. That stands for self-reported academic record. And you can self-report your ACT or SAT scores. This means no official transcripts or test score reports. The power of completing your applications in your hands. You don't need to bother your counselors. We are currently still test optional for both admission to selective programs, and scholarship consideration. But if you have the opportunity to take the ACT or SAT, do it. The middle 50% of this year's applicant pool possessed a core GPA between 3.6 to 4.2 and ACT super scores between 25 to 31 and SAT super scores between 1210 to 1370. So hopefully that helps you see where you fit. We do use a holistic approach in our review process, but I will share that the courses you take and the grades you make weigh the most in our consideration. You may have noticed I referred to core GPA when talking about admission. We do not use your high school GPA to determine admission and scholarship, but instead create a core GPA using your grades in core courses only, not elective courses. We do offer merit-based scholarships for all students, but specifically for out-of-state students, there's the Volunteer Scholarship and Tennessee Explorer Scholarship for those applying with test scores, or the Beacon Scholarship if you apply without test scores. Students must complete their application by our regular application deadline of December 15th to be eligible. The value of these renewable scholarships range from $4,000 to $18,000 annually. Okay, so I'll leave you with this. The University of Tennessee distinguishes itself in a number of ways. Our distinctive color orange, the Vol Navy or cell gating, our beloved song Rocky Top, or 228 years of rich tradition and school spirit. Being a Vol is more than a nickname, but rather our identity, who we are, what we do, how we do it. Vol is a verb. Thank you, and go Vols.
Wonderful. All right, we are now going to hear from our third presenter tonight, the University of Missouri, Mizzou.
All right, hello everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Maria Chukas, and I am your Mizzou admissions rep. So I'm one of your go-to people based in the Chicagoland area if you all have any questions about Mizzou or the college admissions process in general. So let's get right into it. We are the University of Missouri, also known as Mizzou, and we are in Columbia, Missouri. So that is right in the middle of the state of Missouri between St. Louis and Kansas City. From right here in the Chicagoland area, it's just about a 6-hour drive, or if you want to fly out of O'Hare right into Columbia, it's about a 50-minute flight. So pretty easy to get to. We got students coming from every single county in Missouri, from all 50 states and over 110 countries. So you really never know who you'll meet when you're walking across campus. And our campus has the pleasure of being both a land grant and the AAU institution. So we have a lot of those undergraduate research opportunities available to you that your professors are getting engaged in as well. So great work that you can do do alongside them. So now how do you get here? Our application process is as simple as 3 steps. And so what that looks like for you is filling out the application online. You could use either our website or you could use the common application, and there is a $55 application fee. And then the second step would be submitting your high school transcripts to our Office of Admissions. And then the third step would be, if you are applying with your test score, sending us your test score, or if you decide to go the test optional route, you'd submit your supporting documents, being either a personal statement if you're using the common application, or the writing samples on our application on our website. Now, as heard from some other colleges tonight, I think there's some things we have in common with our admissions process. We also are looking at your core classes. And so this is the list of the high school curriculum that we'll look to see that you took while you were in high school. So we're looking for 4 years of English and math, 3 years for social studies and science, 2 years of the same foreign language and a fine art. And so in total, 17 core classes. And when you are applying with the test score, what we'll do is for automatic admission, if you've got a 24 or higher on the ACT or an 1160 or higher on the SAT, we will use how you're doing academically to determine your admission status with us. And so it's a pretty straightforward and transparent process for the most part. You can look at this chart and almost determine your admissibility. However, if you're applying test optional, so let's say you don't want us to look at those test scores and you'd rather submit those personal statements instead, then what you do is submit that on our application and we'll use that to review you on a more holistic basis. And so if you're applying with the test score, you'll hear back within about 2 to 3 weeks. And if you're applying test optional, you'll hear back within about 4 to 5 weeks. So regardless, pretty quick turnaround with us being on rolling admissions. Now, what does it look like when you get here? We got a lot of options for you to pick from. So if you know exactly what you're looking for, great, we most likely have it. And if you're not sure, great, we'll help you find it. We've got over 300 different degree programs. So we're known for having the world's first school of journalism, but actually specifically for my Illinois students, business has been the most popular major as of late. A few other popular majors are things like engineering, nursing, education, biology, psychology, health science and health profession, and even undecided. So if you come in and you're not sure what you want to do just yet, we'll help you navigate that process through what's called the Discover program and give you some undecided advising to make sure that you're on the right track and can still graduate within the time frame necessary. We've also got over 600 clubs and organizations. So you will see a bunch of things, whether it be academic organizations and honor societies or sporting clubs or cooking clubs or anything that you're thinking of, we most likely have. And if you don't see it, start it. You have the ability to start your own organizations as a student on campus. And I mentioned sports. I do want to touch on that. We are a Division I school. We are part of the SEC, which is the Southeastern Conference. And we love to celebrate and to just build community around sports as well. So whether you're participating in one or just going to a game and showing that school spirit, that is something you'll always see across campus. Spirit is, and the traditions are just huge portions of our campus, especially around the homecoming season. Because if you did not know, here's your fun fact for the night: Mizzou is the birthplace of the homecoming tradition. And so over 100 years ago, started the tradition of bringing our alumni back to campus, celebrating with a football game, parades, and now we've turned it into a month-long celebration across October. So always a fun time on campus. And now, as mentioned earlier, we're part of the AAU. We're a land grant research university, tier 1 research. And that is one way that you can get involved and just use your major outside of the classroom. But it looks a little different across all of our majors. And so you could be a journalism student at KOMU, which is what you see in that bottom right photo. And that is actually the only university-owned commercial network affiliate that's run by students on a college campus. So they work at an NBC station and get to broadcast to the entire mid-Missouri area. You could be one of our health profession students or nursing students or pre-med students working within our university hospital, which is right in the middle of our campus. You might be a business student and having an internship because there's a 100% internship placement in our College of Business. So regardless of your major, there's some way that we can get you involved in putting your knowledge to the test outside of the classroom. December 1st is our competitive scholarship deadline, so that's something you'll get some more notification on during first semester of senior year. And you can also take advantage of the option for in-state tuition by becoming a Missouri resident, typically during your freshman year. I would love for you all to see this in person for yourselves, so feel free to head to our visit website for more information if you'd like to schedule an in-person or a virtual visit, and we would be happy to host you and provide you with a tour of campus, lunch, and the potential to meet with an academic unit on campus. And last but not least, this is my contact information. I'll be sure to drop it in the chat, but if you have any questions, as I mentioned, I'm based here in Chicago, so don't hesitate to reach out to me for more. Thank you all.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that great information. All right, our next presenter is Newman University.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Larkin and I'm an admissions counselor at Newman University. I'm also an alum, so I graduated back in 2020. So I like to say if I can graduate in 2020, you can do anything. With that, I received 2 degrees, one in communication journalism and one in theater. I'm also currently a grad student, so I'll receive my MBA in May. I thought Newman was good enough the first time and I was like, let's go again. So I'm in that program as well. During my time at Newman, I was super involved. As you can see here on the screen, this is me playing Lucy Pevensey in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe my junior year. So I was really involved in theater. My senior year, I was student body president. I was also involved in our student newspaper called The Vantage and the honors program, just to name a few. That's one of my favorite things about going to a smaller university is that you're able to do a wide variety of different things that you never thought you may be able to do. So you don't just have to be the guy that plays tennis or the girl that's in nursing club. You can do a wide variety of different things all at once. A little bit more about Newman University. We are a small university. We're a small private Catholic university in Wichita, Kansas. We have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So we really focus on building those relationships and connections with professors. And so I know it's kind of cliche, but you're not just going to be a number at Newman. Your professors are going to want to know your name, where you're from, what your goals are. If you have any cats or dogs at home, they're going to want to know their names too and see pictures. So it's definitely that tight-knit community. And on the flip side, that definitely transfers with your peers as well. We have an average class size of 15. And so we definitely really focus on making sure that if you're anything like me, over the 4 years you're here at Newman, you're going to be able to turn in those peers into lifelong friends. We do have 40 plus different undergraduate majors, everything from biology, nursing and allied health, social work, business, pretty much anything that you could want. And we're really flexible about being able to make your dreams into reality. With that, we do have 11 pre-professional programs. And so we work really hard to prepare students to be in those professional arenas so they can get into whichever schools that they're looking for and be successful. We have a robust student life. In my experience as a student, I think we have a club pretty much for everyone. And if there's not a club that we have that you're really interested in, all it takes is one sponsor, which is the faculty or staff, a couple of friends, and you can start a club and get $200 from SGA to do it. So definitely some great options and able to make everything fun here at Newman. We are really proud of our JET athletics. And so we are NCAA Division II. We're in the MIAA. So that means you can get that big school competition in athletics with that small school academics and support system. And so with that, we also give scholarships for both academics and athletics. So it makes it really affordable to get that private education through athletics. We have about 20 different teams between men's and women's. We have what we call all the normal sports like volleyball, basketball, soccer, baseball, softball, all of those. But we also have a few different unique sports like bowling and triathlon. So if that's something that you do and what you're interested in doing in college, Newman might be the right fit for you. We also have a few programs to really help you be successful and reach your full potential at Newman. One that I mentioned earlier is the honors program. This is kind of twofold. The first side is academic and the second is social. So academically, you're able to do a lot of research and really dive deeper into what you're interested in and what you want to have greater knowledge on. The second part is social. So we have a house system, kind of like Harry Potter. And I know it sounds nerdy, but it's actually super fun competing with all of these other people that are just as competitive as you are. We also have travel grants that are available through the honors program. So you can go explore the world just for a tiny cost. And we have scholarships to be in the program as well. We do have another program called Navigator, which is open to all students. And this is really focused on preparing you for success. So the first part is a student portfolio that you start working on from your first year here all the way to your fourth. You put in all the different projects, whether it's PowerPoints, whether it's papers, whatever it is that you do during your time at Newman, so that you have tangible skills and tangible things that you can show, whether you go to grad school or go get a job or go to a professional program. Instead of saying, I have all these skills, you can be like, I can show you that I have all these skills, which is super valuable. We also pair you with an alumni mentor in your area of study that can help you get great internships and great job opportunities. Looking at the scholarship side, we do have scholarships for all first-time students from $12,000 to $16,000 per year, given upon acceptance. This is based on your GPA since we're test optional, but if you do have an ACT score that's higher, we'll go on whatever is higher and makes you the most money. We also have special scholarships based on full and partial tuition, service, and then talent awards. So for art, theater, and music. So definitely a lot of different opportunities to get scholarships at Newman. And I could tell you more about it, but let's hear what our students have to say.
My financial aid was the ASC Community Leaders Scholarship.
I am a recipient of academic scholarships.
I'm a recipient of an academic scholarship, honors scholarship, and journalism scholarship.
I have a bunch of outside scholarships that I applied for, but I also used quite a bit of academic scholarships as well.
Newman has forged me into someone I don't think any other university could have to make me not only a better student, but a better member of society.
So hopefully that gave you a better sense of what we do here at Newman. If this sounds like it could be interesting for you, if you're a senior, you can apply today. If you're a junior, your app will open August 1st, and you can apply at apply.newmanu.edu. I will say, like, being a Newman Jet kind of transformed my life. I didn't know who I was, what I wanted to do, and being able to go to a school where people genuinely cared about me and cared about my success really kind of changed everything for me. And so I'm going to go ahead and drop some links in the chat, my contact information, the application link, and our visit link. So we are doing in-person and virtual visits. So if you just want to dip your toe in the water, take a virtual visit with me and we'll just talk and kind of hang out, and I'll answer any questions you have, not only about Newman, but about college in general. So I know this can be a lot. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, and go Jets. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that great information about Newman University. Our next presenter is Tallahassee Community College, and they're going to be sharing some great information about different transfer pathways.
Thanks so much, Danielle. Let me go ahead and get the screen shared real quick. First of all, I am Joe Hurd. I'm actually a professor here at Tallahassee Community College. Hang on just a minute.
Joe, you turned your sound off.
Yeah, Joe, you're muted.
Just turned my sound off. Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all being here. We actually had that big storm system come through that really ravaged New Orleans. So I've been up since 4 in the morning. So I appreciate y'all being here for us. Are y'all able to see the cover slide right now, Tallahassee Community College? Is that working for y'all? It is great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Alexander. So again, I'm Joe Hurd. I'm actually a professor here at TCC, and we're actually a state college. We offer a 4-year bachelor of nursing, but we want to illustrate a way to get into not only FAMU, a phenomenal historically Black college here in our state capital, but also Florida State, because that is both schools are very tough to get into lately. Not that you can't handle it with your academics at St. Ignatius, but we want to illustrate some different ways to get in and some programs. I know your school well because I used to sit at recruiting tables when you were having your affairs in person. I've been here 10 years, but I spent about 40 years in Illinois and Indiana, and I used to be at the Notre Dame table. So we're in Tallahassee, Florida, real quick, and I am going to advance it here. I'm sorry, I'm going back here a little bit slow here. We are honored to be one of the top 10 Aspen Institute awarded colleges. We're actually ranked number 6 from the 2021 competition, and we are competing for 2023 of all things. Based on just graduation rates, how we respond to students from different backgrounds, transferability and all. Some of our benefits here at TCC is the affordability. We're offering a path that can try to get you those in-state rates as you prepare to transfer to FAMU or FSU, or maybe that, TCC and their wonderful programs are your destination because you have a familial connection here. We have an open admissions policy and of course, rolling admissions, the smaller class sizes, 2-year degrees, and also degree prep four-year intended schools certification, and a transfer agreement situation that will knock your socks off. We are, as one of the draws for me coming down here to be a math professor, was the amazing transfer articulation agreement, which is not only one of the nation's first, but strongest. So that if you get a 2-year degree at a Florida public college, you are guaranteed admission into a Florida public 4-year college, maybe not the program you want, but you're guaranteed admission, and to many of the Florida private colleges. We are the #1 transfer school to Florida State University. I actually know the transfer admission specialist. She is originally from Northwest Indiana, has ties to Chicago, loves it, knows your school very well. We have 10 times more transfers, and our tuition helps give you that edge, especially if your families are experiencing the high college costs and you have more than one student in your family in college at the same time. We're also one of the top schools, if not the top school, to offer transfers to FAMU, Florida Agricultural Mechanical U. 60% of our FAMU transfer students come from TCC originally. And again, we have our tuition advantages. We're here for you. All right. The resources are unbelievable. We know a lot of students in different levels of education have gone through a lot during the pandemic that we're hopefully seeing the edge of, but we have on-campus and virtual resources for students no matter where they are. Academic tutoring is amazing through our award-winning, state award-winning, and national award-winning Learning Commons. We're able to help you no matter what modality you decide to take your classes, okay? We're gonna get you through and get you graduating. We have an honors program. I'm actually one of the governing board members for that. We have an honors lounge, STEM centers, other advantages, very military friendly. We've been cited as one of the top colleges in the country to respond to those who so honorably served our country. We also have, I'm going to move this over just a little bit here so I can see the slide. We prepare you for life. We are recently named one of the most engaged campuses of the year within the Florida college system. Of course, we're 20 minutes away from the heartbeat of Florida government. If you're not familiar with Tallahassee, we are the state capital, midway in the Panhandle between Jacksonville and Pensacola. I will be very honest with you. We are not a beachside city. There are blessings to that, especially, with, what we went through with Hermine and Michael, hurricane-wise, which very rarely happens, but it did. The key is we're about 30 miles from a coastline and probably about 70 miles from world caliber beaches. But Florida students here, it may not be a beach community, but you focus on your academics. And with state government here, we have 100,000, by the way, college students in town and 50,000 lawyers, legislators, and lobbyists. So you'll get involved. We also have on campus a very active club and organizational system. We offer for our students 4 different modalities, and we continue to with the, hopefully we're, like I said, reaching the end of the pandemic, but we have our traditional face-to-face classes, very sanitized campus. You don't have to worry about anything, very recent HVAC. I shouldn't say that because I know things happen, but HVAC was already in good shape before, but we're there. We have the live format, which allows through Zoom or other equivalent software to have you take classes from your situs, whether it be still in Illinois. My family's out in Oswego. So, I totally understand what's going on in Illinois, health situations and just dynamics, and maybe you don't want to leave the state just yet. I get it. We meet at regularly scheduled times. Our third modality is the traditional online as you know it. We have a lot of state workers, and we have others that are just, in just embracing their full-time job, and they want to keep it the full-time job. So they take the classes at their own pace, but within the professors' guidelines and pacing schedules. And then, of course, we have the mix of hybrid classes. Each year, we're awarding over 30 million in tuition scholarships. Financial aid packages are solid. Our out.
Thank you so much, Joe. And you can actually share that information in chat if you have a link that you want to share as well about TCC, and our attendees will be able to learn more about Tallahassee Community College from those links. I want to use this time to bring all of our college reps back to the screen, and we're going to have some time to go through questions. I think this is a really neat opportunity to hear from college representatives who are working on the side, reading all of the applications that are sent in. So with that in mind, what is a piece of advice that you would share with a student who's going through the college admission process? And we will start with the University of Kansas.
Yeah, didn't know if I was supposed to kick it off there, so thanks for that. So I think the biggest thing that I always recommend to students is that it comes a lot faster than you think. And so my advice always is to start off with a checklist, whether it's a Google Doc or an Excel sheet or something, and sit down one night and, you only need 10 minutes to start this, but write down things that are going to be important to you. I myself am from Chicago and I went to KU. And so I knew I was going to need to be near a major city. I knew I couldn't be like out in the middle of nowhere. And so with KU being only 30 minutes from Kansas City, 40 minutes from Kansas City, I knew that I was going to still be able to get my kind of, skyscraper fix. I was also in a town of 100,000 people. And so I knew that, if I wanted to get, pizza at midnight, that was going to be an option for me, right? There's going to be some fast food restaurants there as well. And so that was something that was on my list. When you start to build that list, it makes it very easy to start eliminating a lot of schools from your search process. And then you can really focus in on those schools that meet all of your criteria and really find what's the best fit for you. So that would be my piece of advice for when you're starting a college search process.
I'll echo what Kevin shared and just kind of elaborate that I think the visit experience is very important. When you go visit, go off the beaten path. Explore around the campus and explore a variety of schools, big, small, public, private, middle of nowhere, right in the city, you name it. And don't just follow the path that others have paved before you. Be willing to be courageous and look beyond kind of what you're familiar with, but explore those that maybe you don't know much about.
Hey y'all, I would say a few things. So firstly, ask questions. That's why people like us are here. We want to get to know you, especially as we get through the admissions process, but you don't know what you don't know. So sometimes it's what should I know? So go ahead and ask those questions and then use this opportunity to start doing what you'll do in college, which is being more responsible and doing things for yourself. So with that being said, even though it may be junior year for a lot of you, start with those lists. If you're looking for scholarships, I know cost of attendance is a huge factor when making a decision. Start looking for scholarships now. Do not wait till senior year. Just like in college, don't wait till the night before to study for the exam. Don't wait until it's time to make a decision to start applying for scholarships. So use the time that you have now. Start to get to know your counselor if you don't know them already, and use your summer and the upcoming time to senior year wisely.
I echo everything everyone said. I'll also say that no question's a dumb question. I was a first generation college student, and so I didn't really know anything going into the college search process. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want them to think that I'm stupid or that I don't know anything. We're all people. We all had to learn this too at one point. And so no one's going to judge you for what question you ask. And if there is a dumb question, I've already asked it, I promise. So definitely feel free to ask so many questions.
My teammates have summed a lot of it up, but just 4 quick ones. Ask questions, as mentioned before. Make sure you visit that campus. Please make sure you go where you want to go and matriculate as a student. Don't be listening to family members, being a legacy, all the pressure. And finally, 4th and final, don't be afraid to go away from home.
That is all beautiful advice. I really love the way that you all really just empowered the students to ask questions and not feel afraid. All right, for our second question, what is one thing that you want our students or our attendees to remember about your school?
So I think the thing that I'll leave you with for the University of Kansas is that we are a place that will give you a lot of opportunities and a lot of flexibility in your curriculum. We have over 200 fields of study, and with our general education curriculum being extremely flexible, it is almost easy to double major or to minor, at least while you're on campus. And so you can definitely tie in your passions. And even if you think that those passions are two very different things, there are ways to tie those together. And so when you're coming and looking for that, definitely think about the University of Kansas when it comes to the areas of study that you have interest in.
At the University of Tennessee, I'll leave you with your success is our success. So the way we work hard to ensure that happens is every student has a vol success team. So you not only have an advisor, everybody has an academic advisor, but you have an academic coach dedicated specifically to you, and you have a counselor dedicated to you. This team that is dedicated to you and just a handful of other students throughout the campus, and they're with you all 4 years. So, again, your success is our success at UT.
At Mizzou, I would say one thing I want you to remember is that we are a family and that it's like your home away from home. I'm speaking as a first-gen student who never stepped foot in the state of Missouri till I went to my summer orientation. One thing I felt before I even got to campus was the sense of community. So when you get to campus, and when you visit your campuses, go where you feel like home is, because that's the place you're going to be putting your head to a pillow for the next 4 years. So that was Mizzou for me, and I hope that it eventually is for y'all.
I would say with Newman, we have small school personal connections with big city resources and opportunities. So you're not missing out on the big things just because you go to a small school or you have a small community. So definitely some good options there. If Newman's the right fit for you, make sure you're picking a place that has the right fit.
For us at Tallahassee community, you can get involved. Anything from sports, extracurricular activities, intramurals, honor programs, societies, and with the benefit of the two prestigious four-year schools with us, there's reciprocity for quite a lot of different activities and performances.
Wonderful. Thank you all for those responses. We actually do have time for one more question. And I think this is a great one for students and parents who are joining us this evening. What is one myth that you would like to debunk about the college admission process? And we'll kick it off again with the University of Kansas.
All right, and I think I'm going to save everyone else on this panel a little bit of time for you all. So going out of state doesn't mean that you can't afford it and that it's going to be too expensive. Especially here in the state of Illinois. I'm an Illinois person myself. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. And so definitely look at what the actual cost of attendance is. So check out what the cost of attendance is, check out what out of state and even private schools are going to offer you, especially when it comes to the scholarships that they're taking away. Yeah, sorry, Newman, I'm helping you out too. And so definitely check out what those scholarships are doing to their tuition. So the sticker price might be a lot, but just like when you're buying a car, you're never actually paying sticker price, right? So look at what that final cost is. That's going to be my biggest thing for, or myth to dispel, because I hear it too many times. I can't afford to go out of state.
I don't know if this is a myth, but I certainly get it a lot with students, especially right now trying to get in. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Just because you get admitted by one college doesn't mean you're going to get admitted by another college, even though they may appear to be similar and the same type of schools. What one college finds attractive, another may not. Or again, competitiveness varies from school to school. So be sure you do your part to understand what each college is looking for in that admissions process. So you don't set yourself up, just because Johnny, your friend, has kind of the same academic profile and they got in, oh, then I'll get in. Not necessarily true.
All right, so a myth to debunk, I would say is that you're not in this process alone. So I know a lot of students often feel like they may not have guidance or support, especially if you're probably the first person in your family to go to college, or maybe you're just not familiar with the college admissions process. And again, just to retweet what I said earlier, like that's why we're here. That is why you have counselors. That's why you have admissions reps and people to support you. And so if you have questions, again, ask them. I can't say that enough, because one question that you think may be a dumb question or that you think may have been covered already might be a one-on-one conversation that gets you to the place you need to be and gets you access to those resources. So please use all your resources, ask all the questions.
I'm gonna keep it super brief. One I always get is that college admissions has to be hard. It doesn't. Use your resources, like everyone else has said. Make sure that you're using your high school counselors and your college counselors. We want to help you. We don't want this process to be difficult for you. And so reach out to us and we'll help you.
Beautifully said. One myth to try to debunk is that you are not a valued applicant. Think about it. Don't be afraid. Go ahead and apply. Take a look at the 5 fantastic colleges you have here. I look back, when I was going through the whole college, I would be honored to be applying to any one of these schools. Go ahead and try.
That is wonderful. Thank you all so much for sharing your advice and information about your colleges tonight. So that does bring us to the end of this session. For our attendees, as you close out the window, you will see a very quick 5-question survey. We appreciate you sharing your feedback on this particular session. There is one more session that begins at 8 p.m. So I hope you'll check out the colleges that will be presenting during that time. And remember that a recording is available at strivescan.com/Ignatius. Thank you all so much and have a great evening.